Hello, everyone. Welcome to one more episode of the Athletic School podcast. Today, our guest speaker is Thales Peterson. He's the founder of the 1% Club, and he's on a journey to help soccer players develop discipline to get 1% better every day on and off the field. Thales, thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to have you here.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit more about the 1% Club. What's the 1% Club?
So the 1% Club is a mindset program that the objective is to help every single participant to achieve one very simple objective. Be better than you were the day before by 1%. So I have three basic mantras that I live by and I teach others as well. It's one more day, one more battle, 1% better. One more day meaning every day that we're alive, we should be grateful, we should be thankful. It's a blessing to be here. So we should always have an open heart, an open mind, and every day counts. One more battle, meaning the battle is always you against your mind, your fears, your insecurities, and all the stuff that comes from within. So it's winning your own battle against yourself. And 1% better, meaning you don't have to do a whole lot, but it has to be done on a daily basis. So you develop the discipline to get better consistently. So that's pretty much what the 1% club is.
I love it. Yeah, and I think it's important to mention that it is like just like any sports, you have to train to get better. It's the same thing with our brain, with our mindset. We have to, keep doing that daily task every day, a little bit every day, so we can get better. It's not like, oh, let me turn the switch here and now I have a better mindset, right? Um, and when it comes to mindset, what does a perfect mindset looks like when we're talking about athletes? Is there
To
such a
me,
thing as a perfect mindset?
I don't think there's a perfect mindset. There's a perfect or ideal way to view things. I'm a very spiritual person. I believe in God and the power of the universe and all of that. So is you understanding what you are in control of and what you are not. So to me, a perfect mindset would be, and I am very ambitious with that term, that my goal is for one day, hopefully, it's to change the term that I've developed a method called mind flex. Instead of mindset, it's mind flex. So it's understanding that the mind is like a muscle. The mind needs to be flexible and not set. Because the term that we hear a lot nowadays is the growth mindset, which is that you see adversities, problems as opportunities for growth, which is awesome. And my goal is to go one step above where it's not growth mindset, it's mind flex, meaning that the mind is it becomes flexible, and the way you do it is I even switched. So when you I later I can show you the picture that I have, but even the mind flex, so instead of the I put one, and then at the end the flex instead of the x is the percent. So how do you change your mind? How does your mind become flexible? 1% at a time. So you have to do it on a daily basis. So what you have to do is you understand that are you going to have problems? Yes. Are you going to have difficulties? Yes. Are you going to lose games? Yes. Are you going to sit on the bench, not play, have people yell at you, have a bad coach, have a bad teammate, have someone that pushes you and fouls you and the ref doesn't call foul? Yes. The answer is yes, you will. So it's not a matter of am I going to face difficulties? You are going to face difficulties, adversities. Can you handle it? Most people, they cannot. They lose control of the mind. The mind goes all over the place because the way I view it is your mind creates thoughts, and the thoughts create feelings and emotions. And when that cycle happens, they take over your being. So you're not fully present anymore. You become what I call, you go unconscious. So it's a matter of, can you handle the situations that will happen? And how do you do it? You learn. You didn't know math to start off. You didn't know
Hmm.
how to walk to start off. You didn't know how to play the piano. You didn't know how to kick a ball. How do you do it? You learn. And how do you learn? One day at a time, 1% at a time. So that is what the mind flex method is, how to change your mind 1% at a time.
Hmm. And when you say flex, I think adaptability comes to my mind a lot. And I think for athletes, being adaptable, it's so important. During a soccer game, during a basketball game, whatever it is, but also in life, right? Like we have to be able to handle obstacles that life throw at us. Maybe you're going to practice and then you get on traffic. How are you going to handle that? Are you just going to be mad at it? And once you get to practice, your performance goes down. Um, but also in a soccer game, maybe you make a wrong pass here, you miss a PK, and all those things. So are you able to adapt? Are you able to be flexible in a way? Would you say that flexibility and adaptability goes together in a way?
100%. So, like I said before, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when the situation happens, what really happens. And when we go a little bit deeper inside, the situation happens that is going to cause you to be uncomfortable. It's going to be an uncomfortable or negative thought that comes, and with the thought comes a negative feeling, which is normal. So we don't try to avoid that feeling. We know how to deal with that. So, like you said, I get out of my house, there's traffic. Can I do anything about it? Well, let me first and foremost, let me relax. Let me
Mhm.
analyze and evaluate what is happening. Why is there traffic? Well, there's 100 cars on the road. Can I do anything about it? No. Can I do anything about it inside? Yes, I can. What can I do? It's a choice. You can choose to be upset and why is there traffic and oh my gosh, I'm going to be late. Or I might as well enjoy the traffic. Maybe I'll listen to a podcast. Maybe I'll learn something new. So, absolutely, you have to be adaptable. So, someone fouls you from behind in the middle of the game when you're about to score a goal. You don't score, you get hurt, and you come out of the game, or you get hurt, or whatever else happens, can you do anything about that? You cannot do anything about the fact that someone fouled you, but you control your reaction to someone fouling you, for example. And that's what I have found, that most people view the events and the reaction to the event as one thing. They're two separate things. First is the event happens, and second is your reaction to the event you have control over. But most people don't know that. So they feel like because there's traffic, I need to be upset. It's a natural reaction. Things are going to happen that are going to make you feel a little more uncomfortable. And when you feel uncomfortable, can you handle yourself? Not can you handle the world? Can you change the world? Can you change the fact that there's traffic, there's bad people, there's people that call you names or whatever? I can't change that, but I
Yeah.
can change my reaction to what they do. So 100%, can you be adaptable to change? One of my favorite sayings is the only constant is change.
Yep, it is 100% true. And you work with a lot of different players, from professional to a lot of different levels. And I think I see a lot of players talking about playing with confidence, being confident to play, and all of that. What does being confident looks like in a way when it comes to mindset, and how can we become more confident?
Confidence to me comes from preparation, from knowing that you've done your best to prepare. Are you guaranteed to succeed? Well, it depends on what you call success. If you call success winning or losing, no, that's not going to happen. But if you call being successful trying your hardest and giving your all, that to me is what you can control. That is what matters. So you focus more on the process than you focus on the outcome. The outcome, it's not necessarily completely entirely up to you. It will happen. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But how do you prepare? Are you really trying your best? Are you really putting in the effort on a daily basis? And that's what I say, that every day counts. And I don't mean every day you have to go out and train on the field for 1 hour, but every day you have to do something to prepare. So
Mhm.
my method is very, very simple. There's a calendar that every day that you cross an X off on your calendar, it means I was honest with myself that I took a step today to get better. What does that step look like? Some days it's going to be amazing. You're going to go out on the field and you're going to train and you're going to feel great. Awesome. How about the day that you're feeling sad, you're upset because you didn't play, and my family was in town and they came to watch me, and I didn't get one single minute? How are you feeling? You don't feel good, which is normal. So you don't avoid not feeling good. You are not going to feel good. It's normal, it's natural, it's okay. Can you, even that day, win your own battle in your mind that is telling you, oh, it's just today, you deserve a day off, you don't have to work? Can you possibly work on breathing, relaxing, meditation, journaling, watching a soccer game? Can you work on something? And why do I say that? Because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Every day that you get up, it's a blessing. You never know when you're not going to have the opportunity to do it. So, do you prepare? Are you really preparing to be your best version? Your best is very different than mine. We can go all into the whole genetic and everything. Some people are taller, faster, stronger, some are shorter. So it's always about how do you develop confidence one day at a time, little by little, knowing that you've done your very best. And when it comes down to the actual moment on the field, if I make a mistake, if I make a bad pass, if I miss a penalty, or whatever the case may be, is that going to happen? Yes. So learn how to deal with the difficulty when it comes so it doesn't affect your confidence. You know that is going to happen beforehand. So when it happens, you are prepared. So to me, confidence is all about preparation and self accountability. You know if you tried your best to get ready or if you didn't. No one can fool your own self. And that to me is where the root of confidence is being honest with oneself.
Mhm. It's funny you talked about the process and the outcome. I've been studying a lot about dopamine, and I came across with a study that the doctor, and I won't remember his name now, but um, he talks about how dopamine is released through the process and not necessarily when you reach the outcome. Because when it comes to dopamine, we don't want to have those big loops where the dopamine goes up and then goes down. We want to have something more steady. And So the dopamine is actually in the process of trying to achieve something. It's not necessarily about getting the award. It's not about getting winning this game or that game. It's about the preparation, the training, all the hard work that you put in. That's where the actual dopamine comes from. So I think we look at the outcome, and that's okay to look at the outcome, and to have that there. But focusing on the process will bring way more fulfillment when it comes to the preparation and the actual feeling good about it. So,
And
so
Igor, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but that's exactly my point with the whole calendar and crossing the X off. It's exactly that point. When you cross the X off and you have been honest with yourself, you're self accountable, and you know that you did it, there is a dopamine release.
mhm,
When you cross that X, you're like, okay, I feel good about myself now. So you're getting your daily dopamine hit. And
mhm,
that's what means it's a saying that I love too is you become addicted to the process. So
mhm,
that's physically, physiologically, that is what's happening. You
mhm.
are really, you're focusing on the process. And when the hit comes, great. But how about when the valley comes?
Yeah.
You need a little bit too. You need a little fire starter just to get you back on track. So you're not going to feel great at all times, but that little hit every day of dopamine is going to make you feel better. So it's like making a deposit. Like Michael Phelps says that every day you make a deposit in your own bank. Some days the deposit is going to be large, it's going to be good. But some days, oh man, it's going to be a drag, but it has to be done.
Yeah. And we talk about that valley, we talk about frustration. We know that the problems will come. But when it comes to frustration, what are some things that people can do? You mentioned meditation, journaling. Is what else can we do when the frustration comes? I had a terrible game. uh, I'm at home. It's not like I can go practice right now. What are some things that I can do in order to overcome that frustration?
To me, it's a process that comes even before the frustration.
Okay.
Is developing self-awareness. Where does the frustration come from? The frustration comes from negativity. It's if it's the negative outcome, the negative thoughts, the negative feelings. So it's not a matter of, this is something that most people get it wrong is I can't be frustrated. Well, yes, you can. It is going to happen. It's a normal, natural process. When things don't go your way, are you going to feel frustrated, sad, upset? Yes. So, first and foremost, don't avoid what you are feeling. It's just like, can you avoid feeling hungry? Oh, I'm so mad because I'm hungry. I'm so mad because I drank water and I need to go pee. Well, that is going to happen. So you can avoid that. So when things don't go your way, feeling frustrated, it's okay. Enjoy the frustration, but have a period of time that you allow yourself to be frustrated, sad, even happy. When you win and everything works out, is that high going to last forever? No, it's going to go away. So enjoy the frustration, but give yourself, what I like to do is give yourself one day, give yourself 24 hours. Feel compassion for your own self. And that's where, to me, what I said, it comes one step even before the frustration is the self awareness of knowing I am going to feel frustrated. But if I know myself already on a deeper level, I know eventually that's going to pass. It's not going to last forever, even though when you are feeling that way, you feel like, oh my gosh, this is never going to go away. Trust me, it will.
Mhm,
Feeling bad or feeling good, it will pass. So
mhm,
then what comes next? Can you do some form of Meditation. Yes. I don't formally teach meditation. I teach very, very on a surface level because I don't want to give out a recipe that works for me, but maybe it doesn't work for someone else. So the easiest way, just find a quiet place, just relax, count your breath, count to five, five deep breaths. And what is going to happen with that is you're going to notice your mind is going to be loud. Your mind is going to be talking. Your mind is going to say, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? This is so stupid. Why? Oh, I wonder what I have to do later. I got homework. Oh, I'm hungry now. What's coming up after dinner? Whatever. You're going to have different thoughts. So it's you learn how to remain calm when things don't go your way. So what I say is, can you learn? And the key word here is learn. Can you learn to remain centered when things are not going your way? You like riding a bike. For example, you're going through a bumpy road, and all of a sudden, instead of grabbing hold of the handlebars, what do? Oh my gosh, look at this bumpy road. No, no, no. Eventually, it's going to pass. So calm down, relax, journal, meditate, breathe, talk to yourself. But it's don't think that is a one-time process. That is where most people get it wrong. Oh, I tried meditating, it didn't work. So for me, it doesn't work. Maybe for you it works, but for me, it doesn't. Well, you have to develop. And that's why, again, my whole process is don't kill yourself over. Don't try to overdo it. Do little by little. Do start wherever you are. Accept where you are, and then you build on that. Do you not know how to do it yet? No problem. Nobody was born knowing how to do it. We develop the ability to learn and to get better. And how? 1% at a time, little by little. So don't try to overdo it. Do just a little bit. Start where you are.
Mhm. And when we talk about the 1%, involves a lot of consistency, right? And that's when it comes to a lot of discipline as well. And there is a quote that I read on Bernardino's book a long time ago that just stick with me forever. Um, Discipline is the bridge that connect dreams with achievements. What are your thoughts on that quote, and what are your thoughts on discipline?
Well, that's something that I believe most people have a wrong idea of what success really means. They think that in order to achieve something great, you have to come up with like a big idea and it's going to happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. It is little by little. It's built day by day. So when you look at old pictures, for example, from Jeff Bezos when he started Amazon, or Elon Musk, that Tesla and SpaceX were on the verge of being bankrupt, and they kept on going. So it's the process of showing up and trying your best every day. So discipline is the key to anything and everything that you do. If you don't have the discipline, there's one of my favorite quotes is from Kipchoge Eliud, the guy that runs the marathon under 2, that he says that if you don't have discipline, you become a hostage of your mind. So you listen to what your mind has to say. And Igor, our mind is brilliant. Sooner or later, your mind is going to come up with an excuse that you're going to listen. It's good. It's very good. It's brilliant. Nowadays, our mind created a rocket ship that can land exactly where it took off from. So, where we're going, where the world is going, with the ability that the human being has to have access to the mind, is unbelievable. So, how do we avoid that? How do we develop the discipline? You create habits, you create routines, you do things over and over. So you don't have to do a whole lot, but you have to do it on a daily basis. So you have to is what I call the 3 Ds is the discipline for daily development. That to me is the key. And how do you do it? You do little, but you actually do it. So every day you got to do something. Every day you make that little deposit. So it's the discipline that you develop to actually don't try to negotiate with the mind. Why? Because the mind is going to win. Sooner or later, it's going to find an excuse. Just today. Come on. You don't have to do it. You're tired. You're sick. Feel bad for yourself. So you don't negotiate. And the thing too is you don't avoid that. You just don't listen to it and go ahead and do it. So can you take one deep, that's what I come down to. So the smallest daily action that you can do to improve. Can you sit? Can you stand? Can you walk and take one deep conscious breath? That to me is your 1%. But
Mhm.
it's conscious. I know what I am doing. So when I go over to my calendar, I feel good. I know that today wasn't the best, really, but it was done. It was my own discipline to be able to complete my task and know that I got better. So that to me is without discipline, you can't do anything because your mind is brilliant. Your mind is going to win the battle against you. That's why again, and I'm sorry, I can go on forever about this kind of thing, but that's why to me is always it's you against you. Your mind sooner or later is going to find an excuse that you're going to believe and you're not going to do it. So don't let that happen. Develop a system, develop a habit, develop routines that you win your own battle.
Love it. And I think, talking about discipline and just that consistency, I think with social media nowadays, we are used to see things going viral, and maybe that player, he was playing, I don't know, nowhere, and all of a sudden he signs a $2 million contract, and we often connect that with, going viral and being all of a sudden success, overnight success, and all of that. But, I was listening to another podcast that I love. I think it's Modern Wisdom. And Chris Williamson, the hoster, he says it took me 200 episodes of my podcast to go viral. It wasn't one podcast, and the same thing goes for that athlete that don't have a contract, or has no scholarship or anything like that. And then they find a scholarship, they find a contract or something like that. But well, there's a lot of training that was behind that. So that viral idea, that overnight success, is actually, it doesn't exist, most of the time. And I think, if I wouldn't say most of the time, all the time. There's always something behind. There's always like a lot of hard work behind that. And I think with social media, we kind of like forget to see the little things that happen. That 1% daily, 1% that happens. So I think we just have to be a little bit self-aware and just think up for ourselves a little bit more, like, wait a second, what was this guy doing to go viral before he went viral? You know what I mean? He was recording a bunch of podcasts. He was training a lot by himself with nobody was watching it. And then he became viral, then he became successful. So it's, when we think about overnight success, it's actually not overnight. So
That doesn't
um,
exist.
yeah, it doesn't. Um, Thales, one question that I always ask my guest speakers: what's a piece of advice you would give to the entire world? Let's say your message is gonna get to everyone. What would you say?
Believe in yourself. Believe in your own abilities. Don't compare. Have self compassion. Start where you are. You are where you are for a reason. So don't try to be someone that you're not. Don't try to be somewhere that you're not. I should have been more successful. I'm already 40, 50, 30, or whatever, and I'm not where I wanted to be. Accept where you are and build from today forward. That's it. Every single day, take a step towards becoming your best version. I am never going to be 6'5", 250 pounds and play in the NFL. I have to be my best version. I am here for a reason. So when I say always is find out what you are capable of. So don't just accept being average and feeling bad and feeling negative. I'm not where I want to be. Well, then can you do something about it? And the answer is yes, you can. But don't expect for things to happen tomorrow. They're not going to happen tomorrow. Igor, I just turned 45. I've been in this journey the day that I turned 40 years old. So for 5 straight years, I have not skipped one single day, not even one day at all. So every day to me is an opportunity to improve, to get better. So my advice to whoever is listening, can you do anything about the past? Yes. Yes, you can. Don't kill yourself over it. You are exactly where you are meant to be. So from today forward, move forward. Take one single step, but do it on a daily basis and find out what you are capable of. You are capable of way, way more than you think you are. You are not your thoughts. You are not your feelings. You are not your emotions. You have thoughts, you have feelings, and you have emotions. So learn how to deal with yourself, become more self aware, develop the discipline to get better on a daily basis, and find out how far you can go.
Yeah. I one of my the co-founders of the athletic school, we always had these type of discussions, and he mentioned to me. I remember I was talking to him about like going to work out. Should I go work out? Should not? Because I'm sore, I'm tired. That battle that we were talking about earlier. And he said that your body can always go further than what your mind think you can go further. You know what I mean? So like your mind's gonna play tricks on you, saying that it's enough, I'm about to grandpa and all of that, but actually you can still go so much further than you can think. Um, and and I think it's important for us to have that in mind. Like our mind's just playing trick with us, trying to negotiate all the time. And I think if we just have the ability to like, the alarm goes off, just get up. Don't try to negotiate. It's cold outside. I don't want to go. I'm sore. No, just get up and go. Count to three and go. And if you just take that negotiation off the table, you win every time. But if you try to negotiate, then now you're just wasting your time. So yeah.
Absolutely. It's not a matter of um, not having those kinds of thoughts and
Hmm.
feelings and all of that. You study this kind of stuff. We have somewhere between 50 and 70,000 thoughts in a day. So that's why it's so important to me to work on yourself on a daily basis, because you do not go one day without thinking. It's impossible. You don't go 1 second without thinking. You don't go 1 minute without feeling something. So every day the battle is within. So learn. And the way you learn is little by little. So every day you're becoming a little more self conscious, a little more self aware. Well, I'm noticing that some situations make me feel better, some situations make me feel worse. But what is the only constant? Change. Guess what? How old have you been alive? How old are you?
25.
25. So for the last 25 years, what happened every single night? The day came and then the night came. And the day came and night came. Some days are hot, some days are cold, sometimes there's clouds in the sky, sometimes the weather is very clear. You live in an area where sometimes it snows, sometimes there's hurricanes, sometimes there's storms. So is everything going to remain the same? No. We live in a universe that is constantly expanding. It has expanding since the beginning of time, right? 13.8 billion years ago. So if we think that, oh, when I achieve this, I'm going to be happy. Well, guess what? Even when you achieve whatever you want to achieve, that also is going to change. So sooner or later, things are going to change. Can you develop your mind? And that's why, again, I'm very ambitious with that term. Hopefully, one day is, can you develop your mind to be flexible enough to know that nothing is set? Everything is changing all the time. So can you get better? Yes. Are you there yet? No. Can you learn? Yes, 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 you can.
Awesome. Thales, thank you so much. I think my last question for you is just, do you have any books to recommend to people? I love to recommend podcasts as well, but I think there's just something else about books that I think, especially my generation, has to be reading more. I don't think we read enough. I don't think we learn from different methods besides following a bunch of different social media accounts. And I think there's just something else about books that there's so much value in them, especially when you put time in the process of reading 10 pages a day, five pages a day. Is there any books that you would recommend to people?
That is one of the things that I do also on a daily basis is I work out every single day, no exception. And when I work out, one of my practices is I do audible. So I
Mm-hmm.
listen to either a book or a podcast every day without exception. So my question back to you is, I have lots and lots of different books and podcasts, but it depends on what kind of theme are we talking about. More because I have a lot on uh, spirituality, leadership, psychology, sports psychology. So it has a lot of different things that we can go
Yeah,
into more depth.
anything. Give me the top three if you can. I want to
My
make a
my absolute favorite is on spirituality is Michael Singer. He's the author of The Untethered Soul, the Surrender Experiment. He is I listen to his podcast basically on a daily basis, have done his courses, everything that's on spirituality.
Mhm,
uh who else? Let's see. Leadership, I love John Maxwell. Has
mhm,
lots of great books, great stuff. Also, Alan Watts from back in the day. Zig Ziglar is another one. Tony Robbins, Jay Shetty,
mhm,
Lewis House, Tom Bilyeu, Andrew Huberman. Another book, my top three for sure. David Goggins is there. Chris Will from the Modern Wisdom.
mhm.
Who else? Joe Rogan. I love his stuff as well. So there's just
There's a lot.
too many to go like on just a top three. But
Yeah.
if anybody is interested, they're welcome to reach out also, and I would love to talk about that kind of stuff.
Mhm. Thales, thanks so much for your time. I think you provided a lot a lot of good insights and things that people can do. I think everything that we talked about are issues that athletes are facing on a daily basis. And I think we were able to cover the main things that people can start doing right now, tomorrow, every single day, a little bit every single day, uh, in order to overcome all those obstacles. So I really appreciate your time.
My pleasure. My absolute pleasure. I love talking about this stuff. If anybody wants to know more, my website is very easy to remember, is theoneclub.com, or they can follow me on social media as well. Hopefully you can put the handle so people know where to find us. But
Yes,
absolutely, my pleasure. Hopefully we can do it again.
of course. Thank you.
Thank you.